Hi everyone, welcome to the first video of the Lincoln, Nebraska Pokemon League Challenge. This is really awesome. For once, I'm not showing a video of me. On the left is Isaac Phillips, and on the right is Jacen Reed. They're both seniors, and pretty much at the League Challenge this time around, I was able to bring my camera and record people's matches. I hope to do this again at States in 3 weeks, but we'll have to see. This time around, I was able to record a bunch of matches. The only downside is I only have one camera, so I can only record one match at a time, but pretty much I tried to make sure that I recorded as many different decks as possible just to show off what people had and what they were playing and what kind of stuff that they were doing. And I figured what better way to start than showing off the only 2 seniors who actually showed up. There were 12 people altogether, 2 seniors, 10 masters. Actually, the one on the right, Jacen, actually placed 7th overall. Considering that there were 10 masters, he did really well. He placed almost at the halfway mark. So that's pretty awesome. So Isaac, on the left, is playing a Blastoise deck. Without Tropical Beach, because let's face it, Tropical Beach is too expensive to really pick up, especially for a 14-year-old or a 13-year-old, whatever. And Jacen is playing Yveltal Darkrai. I'm not exactly sure what their deck lists are, but yeah, let's just see what happens. So there will be a few minutes here between when they set up and when the judge says to begin, because, well, everyone needs to set up. There were 6 matches going on at once, and I think these 2 were finished before anyone else, so just think about that. Anyway, so, yeah, I will definitely be posting videos of these kinds of things as often as possible. In the meantime, I am also going to be recording my normal matches at League. I'm sorry I didn't this last week. Again, it was a problem with Magic. I don't know if I explained this well enough last week, but the Pokemon League that I go to is located inside a card shop. And the card shop also hosts other events, like from Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh!, even stuff like Star Wars and I don't know what else, Vanguard. But the point is that Pokemon is one of several things that happens, and Pokemon never takes priority because usually Magic players, there are more of them, and many of them come from all over the country. I don't quite understand what compels Magic players to do that, but that's what they do. So when the building is completely full of Magic players and there's not even enough tables for them, then you can imagine why Pokemon would just flat out not happen. That aside, League Challenge is really fun. This was finally the first one that I got to go to at Lincoln, my home city. I was able to go to one in my old hometown in Conroe when I was visiting my mom for, I think it was Thanksgiving. I was able to do that, but it was not the same as being around people that I know. It was great to be able to try it with other people that I've never met and see what kind of decks that they run. But frankly, it's just not that fun, and not as fun as going up against people I know, where we can joke around and not worry about hurting each other's feelings and stuff. So this was finally, I was able to come to one here, and this is definitely not going to be the last one I go to. And there were a bunch of different decks here. There were the big decks that you might imagine. There was Darkrai, Sableye, Yveltal. There were Plasma decks. There were a lot of Plasma decks. I was a tad surprised at that. Maybe I shouldn't have been surprised, but I was. There was only one Blastoise deck, and this one is it, the one on the left. Let's see. There was a big Basics deck that won 2nd place. There were a few Rogue decks here and there. I wish I could have recorded some of them. Maybe I did. I don't remember. Since I wasn't actually there for these, I just set up the camera and went to my table to play my game for the first 3, and then I actually recorded my own game for the 4th round. Since that was the case, this is actually the first time that I'm watching these. In fact, I don't even remember who won half of the games. So, and it looks like they're about to begin. So let's see what happens. I think Jacen is going first. No, Isaac is going first. So he attaches a water energy to Mewtwo and he's going to Ultra Ball. He needs Squirtle and Blastoise in play right now. So he's... if I were him, I would get a Shell Shield Squirtle as soon as possible, because if I were him and I saw a Sableye, that would tell me immediately that Ethan is running a Darkrai deck, and Darkrai snipes the bench, so Shell Shield Squirtle is the best thing to go for there. But he doesn't have Shell Shield Squirtle. It looks like he's going for the one from Boundaries Cross without the ability. And actually, before I forget, Jacen on the right, he is the one who won my 50 code card giveaway, so that's pretty awesome. Now you can, now you're famous, Jacen. I don't know if I keep calling him Ethan, I might. Ethan is someone who used to go to League a lot. He was helping me out with my collection a lot. For some reason, he just doesn't show up anymore. I guess it's because it's just too far away for him or something. And he's a senior, so. But anyway, but Jacen and Ethan look similar, so I confuse them sometimes. So forgive me if I name him Ethan, but his name is Jacen Reed. So, played N there. I think Isaac pulled one too many cards. Yeah, he did. Well, no one noticed that, so that's unfortunate. But anyway, he has to pass. It's Jacen's turn. He's got a bunch of cards in his hand. He's going to Ultra Ball. He could go for the Garbodor right here, right now. He's going to Ultra Ball away, Escape Rope, and Absol. He would need to get a Trubbish in play, and then a Garbodor, and then a Tool. So he couldn't do that till next turn, but he really... if he wants to shut down Blastoise, now's the time to go after it. But no, he's going to go after his Yveltal EX, which I think is probably the better move, to be honest. Blastoise isn't that big of a threat without Keldeo in play, and besides that, I'm looking at Isaac's hand right now, and he doesn't have the Blastoise in hand. I can't tell if he has Rare Candy or not. I don't think so. Of course, Jacen doesn't know that, but yeah, so let's see. He's going to play Professor Juniper, put a few cards into his discard pile. I'm sure he didn't want to. So let's see what else he gets. You got 2 Float Stones, a Laser, Dark Claw, 2 Ends, and Darkness Energy. Darkness Energy attaches that to Sableye. Now he can Junk Hunt, which is probably the correct play to do. Dark Claw to Yveltal. I probably would have waited personally to see until I needed to use a Yveltal, just so then the Tool Scrapper wouldn't ruin it. He plays Hypnotoxic Laser, flips Tails on the sleep. Poison Counter's not on Mewtwo yet, but I'm sure they'll put it on. Bicycles for 2. Got a Computer Search and another Bicycle. And let's see. He's probably going to Junk Hunt here, or he could just be looking through his discard pile. He could play the Bicycle. I would if I were him, but we'll see. He could Computer Search for something than Bicycle for a full 4, but I think he'd rather play it safe here. There's no reason to be in a rush. He's up against Blastoise, which takes a little while to set up. So he's going to get back a Laser and an Ultra Ball. And now it's Isaac's turn. I think they're looking for a Poison Counter right now. No. Oh man, there were a lot of misplays here. Poison Counter is not on the Mewtwo. That's annoying. I know at most places they have enough judges for every single table, but it's League Challenge. Come on. I mean, there were 2 judges altogether, and they were mostly hovering over the Masters. So, man, that's... Man. Mewtwo should have 20 damage on it now. Oh, no, there we go. They finally remembered, and they're going to put it up to 2. There we go. Okay. Now I don't feel so bad. So Mewtwo X-Balled Sableye. It has 60 on it, and it has 10 left. But it has a Float Stone, so it can retreat for free if it needs to, even without Darkrai in play. he really needs like a he needs to put a darkness energy in the discard pile right now, but he doesn't have it. He could have computer searched for it, but then I don't know if he would have had enough cards in his hand to discard it as well. He's going to Ultra Ball, probably for a Darkrai or a Trubbish. If I were him, I'd go after Darkrai. Actually, no, I don't know what I would go after. This is why I don't run Garbodor in my Darkrai deck, because I really don't know in situations like this what to go after. I would go after Darkrai just because it's the prettier card, but at the same time, if you go after Trubbish, that might be better. So he ended up going after Trubbish, and I think that works out in his favor quite well, because he can shut off Blastoise as soon as possible. He attaches a Float Stone to it. Now all he needs to do is evolve it into Garbodor next turn. Then he plays N. And let's see what he ends up getting. He can still retreat that Sableye into something that can take a hit because of the Float Stone attached to it. And right now I'd say Jacen is in a better spot than Isaac is. Let's see, he got a Darkrai off of that. He could put it down. He's going to attach to Yveltal. And Isaac got a bunch of crap. He got 3 supporters and 3 water energy. No, 3 supporters, 2 water energy, and a Squirtle. No, that's a Wartortle. He didn't get anything that really would have worked. So, Jacen plays Super Rod, puts a Garbodor and an Absol back into his deck. And now that Juniper really is nullified because he threw away 2 items and those 2 Pokemon. And now he just got them all back in a matter of a few turns. And this is why Sableye is really, really good in both Darkrai and Yveltal decks, because it can get stuff back. I wouldn't recommend it for every single deck, of course, but it really does help. And he still has a Darkrai in hand. Probably doesn't want to bench that yet, just in case Isaac plays, say, a Pokemon catcher. Then it'd be stuck in the active spot, and there's no way to get it back unless you attach an energy to it. And that would be a waste of energy per turn, unless he plays Energy Switch. But there's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts that go into this game. There's a lot of if this, then that, but you never know. So, anyway, so he just Junk Hunts and passes. I'm sorry, that Junk Hunt is his attack for the turn. So now it's Isaac's turn. His Mewtwo now has 50 damage on it. He evolves the Squirtle into Wartortle, attaches Water Energy to cure him, and plays N. I'm pretty sure that was N, because they're both shuffling their decks now. Anyway, so they're shuffling their decks, and Sableye is going to die this turn. But that's fine, because so long as Jacen has a Darkness Energy, excuse me, it's allergy season. So long as Jacen has a Darkness Energy for his turn, he has a Yveltal that is all powered up to do Evil Ball. So let's see what Isaac gets. He got a Keldeo. that probably is the best card that he could have pulled right there. And he got a Blastoise for next turn. If he has a rare candy, he can evolve into Blastoise right now, but he does not. Ooh. He missed a few cards there that he really needed. He could attach to Mewtwo, but that would be ridiculous. No, he already attached to Kyurem, so that would be even more ridiculous. He's just going to X-Ball for knockout, takes the first prize. As long as he can get Blastoise into play this next turn, he's good. But in the meantime, I think Jacen has a slight advantage. He has, he attaches another energy to Yveltal. Mewtwo takes another 30 from Poison in between turns. So Jacen's going to Ultra Ball away an Energy Switch and a Colress. It's obvious Colress is not going to help him out here. He's going to get that Garbodor into play. Now, no matter what, Keldeo cannot rush in, and even if Isaac gets Blastoise into play, it's useless because it can't use its Deluge ability. So he just Ultra Balled for a Garbodor. He's probably going to evolve it right now. Just hasn't yet. He's busy shuffling his deck. And In a matchup like this, I would almost always put my money on the Yveltal deck, or in the Garbodor deck, period. But pairing Garbodor with Yveltal is fun, but that's a lot of stuff to put into your deck, especially when he also runs Sableye. Um, yeah, I mean, it really is working out for him well right now. That's just a lot of stuff to put in there. You'd be missing out on stuff that usually goes into regular Yveltal decks, or even into Darkrai Garbodor decks that you just have to take out in order to put in all that extra stuff. But anyway, so he played Juniper there, got a fresh hand of 7, hasn't played any cards from his hand yet. He could Evil Ball here, and I think that would be knockout, because he's doing 120 damage. Yeah, plus poison. Even without the poison, though, that'd be a knockout. So he knocks out the Mewtwo EX and takes 2 prizes. Now Jacen is ahead by a 1 prize lead. He has 4 prizes remaining. Isaac has 5. Isaac drew a Water Energy for his turn. And even if he evolves into Blastoise here, which I think he should do, because otherwise that Wartortle is just an unfortunate thing on the bench. But he didn't. So he's just going to Frost Spear for 30 on Yveltal and 30 on Garbodor. His best chance right here is just to knock out the Garbodor and get his abilities back. Since most people don't play Pokemon Catcher, I don't think a single person at the whole... Nah, that's not true. There was one person who did play Pokemon Catcher here at League, but they never used it as far as I know. But since most people don't play it, Garbodor is almost always safe on the bench unless there's like an escape rope or something like that. There's stuff that could be played in order to bring Garbodor up and make it less of a target, but it is incredibly safe in today's format. You could put it on the bench and not really have to worry about it being hit or something. So Jacen plays Computer Search, didn't see what he got there. That's the unfortunate part about this camera angle, is it cuts off the bottom like 5 inches of the battlefield. And I really raised it as high as I could to get a full view, but yeah, I apologize that the camera angle is a little off, but there's really nothing I can do. So I think he might have computer searched for the Darkrai. Now his Yveltal has free retreat on top of that. He's going to Evil Ball for knockout, and now he only has 2 prizes left. So Isaac promotes his Keldeo. Then there's really no way he can get to that Garbodor, so he needs to power these things up 1 energy at a time. He evolves his Wartortle and Blastoise and puts a Water Energy on it. If I were him, I would have put up the Wartortle just so then he'd have an extra turn to power something up, but oh well. So he just has to pass. And now Jacen is going to play Skyla, I think, for Professor's Letter, which he's going to use to get 2 Darkness Energy, probably. Or probably just to see what he even has in his deck. He could get no Darkness Energy if he wanted, but in this case, he probably does want the Darkness Energy. I wonder if he plays Dark Patch. I just noticed that I haven't actually seen Dark Patch this whole game. Interesting. So he is about to attach a Darkrai and takes it back. He's just not going to attack. He's thinking really hard. He's thinking, okay, I could 2-shot this Keldeo. Maybe if I attach another energy to it, it'll make it that much easier to knock out. 20, 40, 60, 80. It's doing 120 right now with that energy he just attached. And the Dark Claw, so he is going to be doing a lot of damage. There's absolutely no way that thing can survive another hit. So he he Evil Balls for 120. I believe that Keldeo now has 50 HP left. That's what the die is for. He attaches another Water Energy to Blastoise, but I think this is the end of the game. Oh, no, I guess he has 1 prize left. That's weird. So then he... I don't know what's going on. I think that was the game. Maybe he had an extra prize more than I thought, but Isaac just promoted his Blastoise. and that was the end of it. So that was it for round 1 of the Lincoln, Nebraska Fennekin League Challenge. Stay tuned, I'll be uploading another video soon of round 2 against 2 completely different decks. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you want for me to keep doing videos like this, please let me know. So thanks everyone for watching, and stay tuned for more.